Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
We just wanted to get into all things wedding and all of the things that come along with it and how fun everything is with weddings, engagements, bachelorette parties, everything that has to do with your friends joining this next chapter of life. But we also kind of wanted to dive into the stress that comes along with it, because there's a lot of planning. There's what do you wear? There's spending money. There's booking flights. There's all of these things that come along with this season of life. And now that it's spring, it is all happening now. So we kind of wanted to get into that.
Yeah. To preface, we don't want to make it sound like we are shitting on all of this, because I feel like it is going to be more focused on the stress of it all. But take in mind that obviously, like, it is so fun and exciting and everything. But one thing I just wanted to kind of like first talk about, you know, even before you get to like the weddings and everything, but is like the timeline stress. And I think that's really real for most of us at this age. I mean, like, you know, obviously not you, Malls, because you are married. But I think, you know, when you're like in your mid-20s and stuff, and you kind of have like, when you're growing up, you have this idea of like, oh, I'm going to be married by this age, I'm going to have kids by this age, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I genuinely thought that I was going to be married and have kids by the age of 25. And obviously that hasn't happened.
Here we are.
But that's the thing. I'm like, you know, like so badly, like I want to get engaged, I want to get married. But it's like, is that because of the societal stress and like the pressure of like the timeline, or is that just because I want it? Like, you know, like it's crazy, because I'm like always thinking about it. And especially because for girls, that we have this like timeline in our head, but for the most part, I mean, like obviously not every single time or whatever, but it's typically up to the guy to kind of decide
For sure it is.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you have this idea of like, oh, I want to be married by here, or like get engaged then or here or now, whatever. But like, it's not really up to us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And you also just like, yes, I am married, but like you also just never feel fully ready for these things too. Like you have this allotted timeline in your head of like when these things are going to happen, and then they do happen. Like for like in my experience, like when I got engaged, I was like, I'm a child.
Yeah.
Like how is this even legal? Like if I get pregnant in the next
I'm a child
3
bride.
years, literally like
gonna say.
I like if I get pregnant in the next like 3 to 5 years or something along those lines, like how am I ever supposed to feel like I'm not 19 or like 16 in a teen pregnancy?
No, literally.
Like it's a scandal.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that that's something that nobody really talks about unless like you just always feel like a kid. Like there's never going to be a moment that you're like, I'm 100% ready for this. But your 16-year-old mind is like, I'm going to be this. I'm going to be this at this age. I'm going to be having kids at this age. I'm going to be this. And then those ages come and you're like, okay, wait, I'm a kid.
Yeah. No.
Like
totally.
what?
I know.
Yeah.
Like even saying I'm married, I'm like, it sounds like bizarre, but I'm 26 and it's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Like
the thing.
it's a normal age. I'm not doing something crazy.
Yeah, like it is normal, but that's why I think it's so like complicated and stressful in our age range, because like half of our friends are single, half of our friends are married, and so it's like what's
Totally.
normal, you know?
Totally.
I don't think there is a normal, and it obviously is like so dependent on your situation and who you are and who your partner is and whatever. Like for me, like I'm dating someone younger, and so it's like we kind of have to compromise, because it's like you know, our timelines are a little bit different. So it's like, when I was his age, like maybe I wasn't ready then either. But I mean, I don't know. Like it's really crazy, because it's like, yeah, like half your friends are married, having kids, and half of them are single. And you're like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Totally. And it kind of makes you feel like obviously everyone's like on their own timeline, but like also there's always kind of this like, wait, am I like ahead of everyone? Or am I behind of everyone? And it's like, it's not about like who's ahead and who's behind and where everyone is, but just naturally that's how people feel, you know, of like
100%.
like I'm behind the people that are like married and having kids and whatever, but then I'm like, okay, well, I am in a relationship, so like I am in line with that, but it's just like where am I fault? Like I don't know. It's just the pressure of it all, I think.
Like the 20s especially, because like there is so much growth and like weird development that happens in these like 10 years that like you're excited for people who are getting married, but then like you're stressed. And then like even like when I got engaged or like when I've gotten married, like I have friends who like are like, I'm talking more of like where we worked, where it just like feels like it's like do they think I'm like not being serious? Like, are they taking like,
yeah, like they're all older.
Yeah, so. They're all so much older that it's like, is something like, is this as valid as they are being like 30 and like in this different stage of life? So it's just like, I totally hear what you're saying, where it's like everyone's timeline is different. And like, even if you feel like you're ahead, like it's not even feeling like I'm ahead. It's like, am I like allowed to be doing this? Like, are people gonna take me seriously? Right. Like whatever. But like, the timelines of everything is so bizarre.
I know. It is so crazy. And I think also like the thing is like, I feel like we were set up to believe, you know, the 20s were the best years of our life and stuff. They lied.
If this is it, I don't want it.
No, like I am. No, like
30, flirty, and thriving is what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. No, the 30s are the new 20s.
Yeah, that's true.
So I've heard.
So we're hoping.
And I can't wait. I can't wait. But yeah, like it is crazy. Like, because we are all getting to like our late 20s.
Oh my God, I know.
And like, if you asked me 10 years ago where I'd be at this time in my life, I don't even like, I don't know, but it is just so crazy. And like, yeah, like you get older and you're like, am I ready? Is like, am I supposed to be where I'm at? And like, not even like timeline in the sense of like relationships and marriage and stuff, but career.
Life in general.
Yeah.
And money, and people are thinking about like saving for X, Y, and Z. And then it's like, you do these things and then it's still like, okay, what am I saving for now? Retirement?
No, literally.
I'm like 26 years old. How am I thinking about the time when I'm 70 years old? Like, I
mean, I think about retirement every day personally.
I never think about it. Bless Owen's soul, because he thinks about it, but I'm like,
yeah, because we are working and we don't want to be working anymore.
Yeah. So true. But like, that's crazy. Like, you just spend your whole life. Okay, this is along this line, but I saw this girl's TikTok and she was like, I was speaking to this lady who was like in her 80s, and she said that she wenned her life away. And that's what I do. I'll explain it. So it literally gave me like chills. It was so crazy. She was this 80-year-old lady was like, I wend my life away. Like, when I'm 25, I'll be happy. When I'm married, I'll be happy. When I have kids, I'll be happy. When I have grandkids, I'll be happy.
When I'm in the career I want.
Exactly. When I'm making enough money, I'll be happy. Like, all of these things. And then she was like, and now I'm 80 something years old and I've wend my existence away. And I'm like, I'm never doing that. I have now taken account into that meaning, because that's terrifying and so scary. And life happens so fast. Like, these timelines, like what we were thinking when we were 16 and all of this stuff, that like, we just gotta, I don't know.
And I think
I'm like TED Talk vibes. But, like, we just gotta exist on our own.
Yeah. And I'm really bad at that, because that's like literally like to my core who I am. I'm always forward thinking, like, oh, like when this happens, or like I'm so bad at living in the moment. And I think that's, I don't know if we talked about this on the pod or not, Malls, but that's something that I really appreciate about you, because like, obviously, like, you are forward thinking and like stressful in whatever, right?
Yeah.
But you are really good at like living in the moment, appreciating the moment. Like, I wish I could do that. And my mom is always, like, literally all the time, she's like, but are you enjoying the moment?
Yes.
And I'm like, and she's like, and one of her biggest sayings is, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Totally.
And I do try to remind myself of that, because I'm like, yeah, like, why aren't I just enjoying and appreciating the moment and the time that I'm in? You know, like, I don't need to be thinking about when I'm getting engaged. Like, I just need to be happy and excited in the stage of the relationship we're in now. Or like, I don't need to be thinking about where I'm going to end up in my career. Like, I just need to be satisfied with where I'm at now and appreciate, and like, you know, I will say I'm very bad at that, and I'm very much so trying to work on that.
For sure.
But speaking of wedding stress, considering you're the only one who is actually married, I feel like you are going to be the best one to speak about it. But yeah, I wanted to hear your thoughts on all that.
Well, I feel like, I don't know if we did dive into the like personalities of ourselves, but like I love to do things myself in
DIY queen.
Like, like, I love the crafty shit. I love having control, I think, is also the big thing. Like, I had a vision for the wedding, and I was like, whether I am hiring someone to execute this or not, like, I am also going to be doing everything to make sure that this happens.
Yeah. And you have a very particular vibe, which is like very cool girl vibe that like not a lot of people can recreate.
But just like particular, and what like we were kind of talking about earlier, like I take on a lot. and I say yes to everything, and then I really get bitten in the ass. And that is very much what happened during my wedding planning, because I had all of these grand, huge ideas of what I was going to do. And like, thank God everything turned out fine. But like, I procrastinate to my core, because like, I think that I have a year, because like we got engaged and everything's all fine, and so I can put these things on the back burner and like whatever.
No,
like,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but literally, like, no offense, your red flag is like thinking that something takes 5 minutes and it takes like an hour or whatever. Like, it's that's just
no,
so
it 100% is. Like, I have
like, you underestimate everything.
Yes, totally. Like, I didn't even send out save the dates for our wedding, because like it got to the point where like it was at the timeline of sending out invites.
Yeah.
Because I just was like, we hadn't figured out a venue, and like what Mons was saying, like, I have a very specific vibe, so like I didn't want a typical venue that had like, not that they're bad in any sense, and I'm not going to shade any kind of wedding venues, but like, I wanted something so specific that like I finally found it, but it took me so long to find it, and then it all went to shit because a month before the wedding we changed venues, because our friend,
one month before her wedding,
4 weeks,
she changed her entire wedding.
Yep, location,
everything.
We were supposed to be an hour and a half away from where we are now, and we ended up literally
like, if that doesn't explain
everything.
You as a person,
I know.
Changing your imagine just changing your entire wedding.
I know.
A month before.
It was
like,
terrifying.
nobody does that.
I know. And so like,
not
we
that I would
literally
know,
just everything was happening so quickly, in especially that last month, that like it was hell on earth. Like, thank God I had like friends and like you guys to like, I don't know, just to like take away the stress of like the bachelorette planning and stuff like that. And we can get into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, just there's so much that goes into it. And like, again, I did everything. Like, I made my save the dates. I made my wedding.
Your save the dates that never went out?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Literally. I made them though. They're in my Canva. And I made my wedding invites and like the menus and like this giant bow sign, because I was like, I need this giant bow sign. And I spent like 3 days.
No, we'll like, insert some photos, because like her wedding was a complete vibe.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning.
It was so beautiful.
Like, again, like I said, I do have a problem with time management and like biting off more than I can actually chew.
Yeah, considering half of your thank you notes are sitting on your counter right now.
Way to expose me. Yes, they are.
When was your wedding?
Last May.
1 year ago in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's very stressful, specifically for me. And then I go on TikTok and I see all these brides who have these like crazy vision boards and these Excel spreadsheets and like these big poster boards of like, this is what this has to be done and this is when this is going to be done. And I'm like, I cannot relate. And then I think back on it and I'm like, I do wish I did things slower and had better time management, because there would have been moments that I was like, I wish I did that. Or like, I wish I took more time in this and I wish I wasn't so stressed.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, oh, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, like, you wish like you actually could enjoy it and not like it's at the end. I feel like it feels like it's like such an annoyance and a task and like a daunting thing, where it's like
so daunting.
If you did take your time, it's like, oh, I can enjoy like the fun elements of like, this is my wedding, I'm only doing it once. And like it is so fun and creative, and you're so creative, and the vision was amazing. But it's like just like kind of taking the time to enjoy those moments rather than it be like an annoyance or a stress or a have to do.
Yeah, for sure.
It is also so crazy because like this is something that you I mean, not for everyone obviously, but like for most people it's something that you picture and imagine for like your whole life, you know, like your wedding, like you think about that as a little girl, and then like you have all these ideas. And then it's also so crazy because this is what my other friend Julia had said. She was like, it's just over now. Like, it's done. Like,
it's done.
You know, and okay, I also remember what else I was going to say.
Say it now.
Okay. The thing is, I think it's also it can be very stressful because, I mean, obviously I don't really know, but from my experience of my friends and stuff, like planning a wedding is very stressful and time.
Regardless if you're good at time management.
Yeah. And like, it just takes a lot of time and everything, but life doesn't pause because you're getting married.
No.
So it's like, life is stressful and busy as it is. And then having to plan a wedding on top of that, it's like, it's basically like a miniature full-time job, just you know. So it's like, like how are people supposed to make that work and make the time to do all that? Like,
and you're not getting paid, you're forking out thousands of dollars
well, that's the
for
other
this
thing,
full-time
like,
job.
If you want, like, some people want to get married, but who has the money to get married, and like who's paying for it? Like, are we like, no, I don't want to, but
I
mean, who else is, you know, like that's the thing.
Like I loved the wedding. I loved everything about it. And that I will never my mind will never be changed on that. But yeah, the stress of it all. And then exactly like what Jewel said, the day is over and you're just,
it's done.
And that's it.
It's just done.
And like, not to say that like people move on with their lives, but like life moves on.
Yeah,
you know?
It keeps going. You can't just sit there.
You can't relive your wedding every day of your life.
Yeah.
And it's like so all that time for what? Like, I mean,
I know,
not, like, but you know what I mean?
But yeah, in a sense, you're like, okay.
Now what?
Yeah.
Now I have kids.
Yeah, like yeah, literally. Again,
we're on the timeline.
Another timeline. Ugh, ew.
My absolute favorite thing about weddings, the bachelorette parties.
Oh yes.
I think half the reason I want to get married so badly is because I want a bachelorette party. Like literally, like I just need a good excuse for a girls' freaking trip. So good. But on that note, so fun, right? It's also very, very stressful to plan a bachelorette. And like, I'm speaking from personal experience because both Molly and my other best friend, Julia, they got married a month apart.
Yeah, we were literally a month and 2 days apart.
Yeah, one was like the end of May, one was the end of June. And not to put like titles on it, but like, let's just say I was co-maid of honor for both of them, whatever.
For sure.
So I was planning both the bachelorette parties.
Yes.
A month apart. Like that in itself is like crazy. And like, I would never go back. Like it was, again, like literally the best time of my entire life. But it was also so hard because I'm like, how do I plan two things? And I mean, like, obviously I had help and stuff like that, so it wasn't like all on me. But like, how do you have two different trips, but make them both equally exciting and surprising and like fun, but like not the same? Like you don't want to copy each other, but you also like, there's certain things that just are classic bachelorette things and whatever. And then also, you know, you're trying to figure out like, okay, who can come, and then people bail, and like how much is everything going to cost?
Bailing is
I was going to say like the planning is one thing, and to have that stress months, like I can't even, like I just got to go on this trip that Mont's planned for everyone. So like,
well, not just me, but
you know, but like it's not only planning everything and keeping in mind of how do you make it, you know, individually separate, but still, you know, on the vibe. And obviously like both Jules and Malls are like fun and like they like the same things and so you want to like appease both but make it different. But then it's also like navigating other people and their timelines and their commitments, and they commit to this and then they back out, and it's totally understandable.
Like duh.
Of course.
And a part of the bachelorettes, like I would say, like definitely kind of as you grow up you realize like they're so amazing and they're so fun, and I totally agree. Like I would never take it back, or I would go on all these trips a million times again, but like
I would go tomorrow.
It is like, you know, you're older and like it is an expense and it is a cost, and it is, you know, taking time off of work and making it work, and just you know, like it's so amazing.
And I think that's also like the thing, because it's like you're trying to make it super fun and amazing, but it's also like, is this affordable for everyone? And
totally,
you know, like let's be real, like when you have your bachelorette party, for the most part you have people that are like your best friends, you have like some people that are like an obligatory invite, or not to say that you did, but you know what I mean. And then there's like just different kind of levels. So like your best friends, like I would have paid $1 million for anything to give you exactly what you wanted and to make it so fun. But it's like, is everyone going to be willing to spend that? It's like, I find it completely worth it, whatever. But you can't necessarily expect everyone else to feel the same 100%. Way.
Yeah.
It's so annoying, and I feel so naggy being like, okay guys, like here's your payment, like pay it up, and like you know,
because my credit card's freaking out.
And like it's impossible to satisfy that many people. Like you know, you just can't. But I will say, I feel like everyone was satisfied.
I totally agree.
Oh my god, I think everyone had an amazing time on all of them.
No, they like literally, that's the thing. I'm like, we're talking on the negatives, but like there are so many positives. But it's just like, just because something is amazing and fun and exciting and whatever doesn't mean that there isn't stress with it. And I think that's the thing, like people talk about all the fun and exciting things about it, but it's like, let's be real, like it's stressful too, you know?
Of 100%. And I think that the one thing that has changed a lot since like in kind of our generation compared to like our moms when they got married, like bachelorette culture has become
crazy,
this mega like huge.
That's what I'm saying. It's like 50% of the wedding.
Yeah. Like it has become something that is like so different than when our parents were married.
Yeah.
Like they would stay in the city. They would like the city that they live in, and they would go out. Thing. It was a one nighter. They would go have some crazy party and do some nuts shit, and then they would be done the next day. And now with our age and our generation, we have decided that it's like we're gonna plan the most lavish trip to the most lavish place and stay in the most insane house, and like, not that I'm complaining, because it was unreal. Like I'm saying, it was so fun. Like I would not change that, and I am so excited to do it for both of you guys. Like it is gonna be like my bread and butter. I'm so excited. But like it is crazy. Like this, like my mom was like, I cannot believe what bachelorettes are now.
I know. Same with my mom. Like it's crazy.
She's like, you're talking about going, like you're going to Mexico. You're going like for this long. She was like, you're talking about going to like all these places. Like some people are going to Greece, and it's like, that's a 9-hour flight from here. Like what?
No,
like it's crazy. You're forking up thousands of dollars. And again, I would do it day in, day out, because one, a girls trip, and two, you're traveling. Like I would never say no to a good travel.
No, that's the thing. It's crazy, but I love it. Like
I eat it up.
I don't want just a day out with my friends. Like
no,
that's like that's a random like whatever. Like I want this to be crazy and fun and lavish and exciting.
Yes, me too.
So, yeah. But hot take, or honestly, I don't even know if this is a hot take, because like I feel like a lot of people should agree. But like bachelorette parties, amazing, love it. Bachelor parties, canceled. No, like they shouldn't happen. You guys can go out for dinner for one night. That's it. No, it's about the girls. The guys don't need it. Like literally, like stay home. Like
stay home.
Yeah, no, canceled.
Owen's going on another bachelor trip in May, right before our 1-year anniversary, and he's going to Nashville, and that's where he went for his. And I'm like terrified.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Literally PTSD.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, are you gonna make it back for our 1-year anniversary? Like, what?
Not that he did anything bad, but Owen got sick.
No. Like not insinuating anything like that whatsoever at all. But it is just like, the thing is with guys, and that's different with girls, is that like girls know when a guy is flirting with them. I think that's like one of the biggest things for me. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but guys think that girls are just like being nice, and they don't realize that girls are flirting with them.
No, I don't think that's true.
I think
it's only Owen, because I think actually the complete opposite. I think you are even slightly nice to a guy and they take that as flirting. But True. Owen is just genuinely the kindest soul. He is not thinking about that
Owen
at all.
Owen gets a shout out in every
because there's always a reason.
We need to stop talking about you, Owen. I'm sorry.
There's always a reason to shout out Owen.
And like also like not only just like the stress of like certain aspects in your life, like we were touching on it earlier, of just how just like the stress of life, you guys, like the stress of being in your 20s, the day-to-day stress. I will say for me personally right now, this week is very stressful. I think all of us are a little bit in that same boat. Like it's not like one particular thing, but it's just the stress of life, of like kind of what we were talking about, of where you are unfortunately compared to other people, career stress, personal stress, trying to be support people for other people's stress. Like stress is just a lot. And I feel like the 20s, because you're just figuring everything out, like it's just stress at all times. Like whether it's for a wedding or an event or something specific, it's just kind of like, it's just a stressful time of life right now. I think
it really is.
And I feel like a lot of people that like a lot of our friends or like people in our lives are like also kind of feeling that, of like not like one thing in particular, but just kind of everything, and you're trying to like be your best and do your best, but it's like you're not and you can't. And
I think like it's just so hard. And that's what I was saying, like people make it out to seem like your 20s are the best time of your life, but it's like, are we forgetting about the stress of like everything? Like everything is stressful. And I will say that like some people are better at dealing with stress than others, and I'm someone who is really bad at dealing with stress, but literally just everything is stressful. Like you're thinking about, like, I know we kind of touched on this, but yeah, like your career, like your timeline, your friendships, your relationships. And it's just like, how are you supposed to like juggle everything all at once? And then that's just like the basic of like what most people go through. But then you have like personal things that like situations or whatever. And it's like for me, like, I guess I'll kind of go into it. Like I am literally chronically stressed, like chronically, and I don't know why. Like I kind of do, but like I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm really hoping you can't, but I actually am like really going gray, which is like not funny, Molly. Okay, I can see your smile.
I just love that you like went up to try and show the camera. I'm not laughing that it's funny.
I am 25 years old, and it's not genetic. My family didn't gray this early, and I genuinely think it's because of stress. And like that is crazy. Like I seriously have to actually upkeep dyeing my hair to hide my freaking gray hairs at this age. And I actually like I had an appointment with like my naturopath because like long story short, I had an IUD and I had like problems. Like I was just continuously like kind of like spotting and bleeding. And so we got some tests done and she was like, oh, your progesterone's really low. So I went on a progesterone like pill, and then my levels were like still so low. And basically like my cortisol levels are like just so high like at all times that like my adrenal glands can't also produce progesterone as well.
Right.
And so like basically like right now, like due to like the just constant state of like fight or flight of my body, like I am infertile basically, like which is so scary,
it's terrifying.
Like to find out, because you know like I don't want a kid right now, but just to have that option like taken away from you.
Yeah.
And I mean like it's not like permanent. I mean, at least at this point, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
And like I can make these adjustments and stuff, but it's like it's all due to my stress. And it's like I feel like it's a big like reality check when you realize like how much the stress is actually affecting like your health and like your body. And it's also scary because I'm like, okay, yes, there is a fix, but how do I fix that when like this is literally like all I've known? Like I'm already on anxiety meds. Like I'm now on ashwagandha because apparently that's supposed to help, which I'm actually like really excited to try that out because I do want to like try to, you know, try more like natural things. But yeah, like that's the thing, like, you know, it's all fun and games until like the stress really actually gets to you and like affects you in that kind of way. So and then I'm stressed about being stressed because it's just,
you get this notice and it's like, oh yeah, like you really need to work on your stress levels, but like your health is taking like a toll because you're so stressed. And then you find out that you're infertile for right now, that it's like, how on God's green earth are you not going to be like chronically stressed about that?
Yeah.
Like that's just adding another thing on top of the stress. It's like, do you think this is helpful?
Yeah.
And
No?
it's like, you know that it's the stress that's causing this, but you're stressed about trying not to stress about it. And it's literally like this
constant
just freaking
vicious
cycle at all times. And it's just like stress about everything, you know? Like it's not even just like the big things. I think that's like what we're like trying to kind of, you know, it's like, it's not just like there's X, Y, and Z. It's just like everything all at once. It's like sometimes life is just very overwhelming and it's like, just like it's like I can't do this, you know. It's like just literally like my 13th reason is like every day there's a 13th reason of like, and it's just like I can't do it all and I can't be everything for everyone and I can't support everyone and I can't be there the way I want to be there, and it's just like it's just extremely overwhelming. And like one of my things that like I'm trying to like work on is like when I get really overwhelmed or stressed, I'm just like I shut down, like I don't talk to anyone, I go MIA, like I'm not
literally
texting anyone. I just like it's just so overwhelming that I can't do anything, and it's just like that doesn't help my stress because it's like I could reach out to someone, I could be like, hey guys, like I know I'm supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z like for the pod or whatever, but it's like today like I literally can't. Like it sounds like, you know, sometimes it's like it's literally just the little things. Like we were literally talking earlier about like, oh, I know that like I have to call my grandma, and like I've literally been putting that off for 2 days because I'm like I don't want to disappoint her and I don't want to like stress out about it, and it's just like I just can't do anything, and it's just like overwhelming things.
Yeah, you get like that
life.
paralysis. But I think that's one thing like we all need to be better at is like giving ourselves grace. You know what I mean? Like literally just saying like, hey, like I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but like this is what's going on. Like just being open and real about it, because like let's be real, we are all feeling this way. And I mean, if you're not, like literally let me know how. Yeah. Because like that would be
would
so
love
great.
tips and tricks.
Yeah, like I do see like, and again, like I see it on like social media and stuff, so I'm like, is that 100% true? Because like it's easy to come on to social media and be like, oh, like I'm living my best life, like I'm so happy, blah blah blah.
Well.
But it's like, okay, are you actually like that, or is that like just the facade? Because there's people that look like they deal with stress well, or like don't not necessarily don't care, but just like it's kind of like, oh well. And I'm like,
what?
How?
Like literally how? Like Yeah, it's not all as well. It's like majorly unwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, majorly unwell.
Yeah.
You know?
And like what we were like, Brooke and I were talking just before this, like my thing is like on top of the stress too, like I feel so guilty. Like guilt is also a huge part of my stress. Like I was kind of touching on with the wedding stuff. Like I try and take on everything and I'm like, yes, man, in the sense of like, I can do it. I'm happy to do it because genuinely I am. But then my plate gets like so piled on and overwhelmed. And then I go into the state of like shut down.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I'm sitting on the couch and I have a day off or something like that. And I can feel all these things piling up in my brain that are like, you have 100 fucking things to do. Like, why aren't you doing them? But I just sit there and I'm like, all of a sudden it's 10 o'clock at night and I've done absolutely dick all. And it's just like, it is again, like the people pleasing thing. Like I, because I say yes, I put myself in a sacrifice zone of my own sanity.
I was just about to say that.
And like this past week has been like sacrifice zone of just like, I have been saying yes and that's fine. And I'm again, happy to do it. Like I'm literally gaslighting myself.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. You're not giving yourself grace.
Yeah.
It's like,
but like, I need to say no to things. Like I need to give myself a moment to breathe. And then then the guilt piles on top of that because
then you
like,
feel guilty for saying no.
Yeah. But then
Literally.
even on top of that guilt, like I say no or something like that. And the guilt of like knowing about other people's life and like how stressful, like I think about like,
Yeah, like they're also experiencing the same
but
things
like
we are.
it's so hard because like with Owen, he is a nurse and like so is Mons, but like their lives and their schedules are like so mayhem and so nuts, and I feel like then I get this guilt and stress about like being stressed about my life because I'm like, this is like nothing compared to you know what I mean? But then you have to think about things relatively because
exactly, you can't say that.
But it is so hard. So I like very much keep quiet for the most part with my kind of like internal feeling of stress and like busyness. Like that's a huge, like I just feel like I'm busy and then I forget things and then I'm unreliable and it's just like the snowball effect of just like scariness and
like
terror.
You double book things and then it's like
Constantly.
the stress of like having to, like you don't want to disappoint one person and then but then it's like, well, you know, it's like you just can't make everyone happy.
Yeah.
And it's just like literally like a cycle.
Yeah, and then you just feel like again, like it just feels like I'm constantly disappointing people, which is just like the worst state of life to be in.
For people pleasers, that's like the whole reason like you sacrifice your own like mental health or your own sanity or whatever, is like literally to do everything for everyone else so that you don't disappoint them. And then it's like the stress of having to it's just like literally it's this constant cycle, and like you just feel, and then you feel guilty, like back on the guilty, you feel guilty for like being like, you know what, I just need like 5 hours to myself to like sit in silence and
turn my brain
in my own
off.
whatever. But then it's like I feel guilty because, you know, it's like I know that I need to be doing X, Y, and Z, and like everyone else is stressed, you guys are stressed, everyone else is stressed, that like I'm trying to help other people but it's like I can't. And
like there's so much you have to do for yourself, but also so much like you feel like you need to do for others. But yeah, like, and I don't want to make it sound like we are complaining by any means, but I will say I think it also has been like a more stressful time for us because the podcast, it is a full-time job. Like, and
you don't realize it until it's happening.
Yeah, like obviously we're not getting paid for this. And so we all already have our full-time jobs. So anytime that we're not on our like paid jobs, we are doing stuff like this. And so it's like, again, literally love it. Like this is what I want to be doing. So it's not like that is stressful, but it's just adding that on to everything that you already have to do. It's like I would love to be able to be paid to do this so that we can like have this as our full-time job. I mean, like I would still do my other job, but like you know what I mean? Like it's just, it's hard when something that you want to do so badly is like just adding on to the pile of things that like you know,
and you know, like, you need to put your all into it. Like we're putting our all into this thing, which sounds like, maybe it sounds corny, but like
I know
we are putting all of our time that we are not actually physically working at our other jobs into this. Like our text chat is like mayhem, nuts, 24/7. We're editing, we're doing like, it's just,
I know. And like I know that like might not, like that probably sounds ridiculous to you guys, like I fully understand
it does.
but you just don't know it until you're in it. Like, you literally imagine having your full 9 to 5 and then you have a full second 5 to 9. Like, we all work our 8 hours during the day or whatever that looks like to each person's job, and you come home and you're doing another full-time job for the next 5 hours. Like, you literally have a 9 to 5 and then a full 5 to 9, and it's just like constant. And you're trying to, like, my biggest thing that I'm like struggling with or like trying to like work on is like balancing it all of like trying to have like family time, trying to have friend time, trying to like fit in my personal time that I need, trying to fit in my actual job stuff, and then like this job stuff, and it's like trying to like balance it all, but it just sometimes it's like very overwhelming.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, like for me, like I have 12-hour shifts, so like when I'm at work, like that is my full day. Like I am not doing anything else on that day. So then when I'm off, I'm doing this all day because I don't have time to do like half and half on one day or whatever. So it's like then I don't have any days off on my quote days off. And then I'm just constantly feeling this like rising stress and rising like there's no chill time. There's no like,
chill time
down and like
no chill time.
I think especially like for nurses, like this is something that I find very hard seeing like on social media. They'll like the biggest thing that like irks me is people who are like, oh, like their day off, like my first day off after a set, I am like paralyzed. Like I can't do anything, but then you feel so guilty because I'm like, okay, this is my day off. Like I have to do things. And there's so many nurses being like, oh, like spend my first day off with me or like, you know, like, and do all these things. And you're just seeing, it's like, hey, how are you doing that? Like literally, how are you having the energy to do that? How are you doing that? You know? Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah.
Can you tell we're stressed?
Yeah. We're just a little stressed. We're not complaining.
No.
But we're just in the throes of figuring this out.
Like,
and
we're
like
just being real.
Yeah, we
know,
wanted to kind of like explain this and I don't know, talk about it because it is what's happening right now in our lives.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone feels like a pressure to have it figured out and to feel like happy and excited and like not stressed about everything, but like let's just be real. Like we're all stressed and it's like shit happens.
Yeah.
We're not always happy. We're not always like satisfied with our life. Like we're not always like yippee yay. Like sometimes
God forbid we're stressed.
Yeah.
God forbid. It's just a lot to deal with. All of things, everything. And for some reason, I feel like I don't know if this is just me, but I always feel like around this time, it is, I don't know, pressure just all of a sudden, like,
around this time
up.
in what
like
sense?
around this time of year, because I don't know, like it's, I feel like there's like that overarching like theme of like spring cleaning and like spring organizing and like all this pressure, and then like you're seeing these TikToks or like Instagram reels about like get fit for summer and like all of this stuff is like building up to this like exciting part of summer that like you feel like you're like all of the things are happening now. Do you know does that make sense at all? Like winter is like depresso and you're like I'm literally down in the dumps 24/7, but like spring hits and it's like all of a sudden everybody is like shifting into fifth gear and it's like we are literally like clutched to the ground and everybody is moving at lightning speed and you're like how am I supposed to catch up? Like I was saying, like I feel like I'm in a trench just like digging myself out of this pit constantly.
And sometimes it's like you just are like want to stop and just like are we all feeling this, or am I like the only one who is like actually like not okay right now? Like I am not
drowning.
okay.
Yeah, no.
Like, I would like to say
anyone else
drowning.
Yeah.
is like a good word.
Being buried alive.
Yeah, no, like literally send a floaty.
Like,
SOS.
Send a lifeline. We need help.
Send something.
Yeah. I know. I said to Owen the other day, I was like, I just needed like a day where I do not look at my phone one fucking time. Like just turn it off, do not disturb, and zen out. Something. I don't know.
Like literally, like it's for me, it's like I need like silence and just like by myself.
But it's so hard to get that because
you can't.
The biggest thing is it's life doesn't pause. So it's like you do that, all that's doing is postponing everything you have to do. It's just adding on to like it's lessening the time you have to do it. And so that's why I'm like I don't have time to rest.
Literally.
You know? And then when I do, it's like I just feel so guilty about it because then you're even more behind. So it's like where's the happy medium?
Like it literally is a continuous cycle.
And I feel like thing was like again, like correct me if I'm wrong, but like Mons, I feel like when like I mean you are chronically stressed. I'm not gonna try and deny that, but like I feel like the way I look at you is like you I feel like you're always getting shit done, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like and it's not stressful like that you're getting stuff done, because like your brain is like what you just said, like I can't have a day off, like I need to get all my stuff done. And like I feel like on this other side of the spectrum, I'm like, I need to get this shit done, and I do absolutely nothing.
But see, like I feel like that, and that's why I think it's like we just need to talk about it and like normalize it, because everyone else is looking at other people being like, you're doing what I want to do and I can't do that. But like I'm looking at someone else and saying like, you're doing all that and I can't do that, because like I don't feel that about myself. But then again, like sometimes I'm just literally so fueled by stress that I can't do it. Like it's stressful for me to do it, but it's also more stressful for me to not do it. So it's like I just freaking have to. And then you know, sometimes you do crash out and then you can't do anything, and then I just feel guilty for that. So it's like, I mean, literally, thank you for making it sound like I look like I know what I'm doing.
No,
but like,
but I also
exactly
it like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna come out, so just like bear with me. But like it does look like you know what you're doing, but then I also, because I know you so well, like I see that what you're doing is so stressful. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I see from the outside looking in, like that seems stressful, because like you're like, I have to do this, whereas like my brain is like, meh, put it away, and then just be internally stressed about it. And like all of the hamster wheels in our brain with that stupid little hamster running around on there are all doing the same thing of like spinning and then like flying off and hitting the side of the cage. And it's like we all deal with it in a different way. Like it all comes out in a different way. It's just like, I don't know, it's so interesting and it's so annoying. I hate it.
It really is. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I'm hoping that you guys can relate to this. Like, if not, I guess we're the only ones.
Yeah, I guess. Good for,
good for you. Good for you. But yeah, so thank you for chatting with us this week, you guys. I mean, definitely more of like a
different tone.
Yeah,
from last week.
Not as lighthearted, but I mean, it's just about
this is life though. Like this is, you have good, like last week all was well, some stress, but this week this is not all as well week.
Yeah.
So it's just being real.
Anyways, next week's gonna be great. Maybe it's gonna be the same vibe, but that's okay. But yeah, anyways, we'll see you next Tuesday, guys.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.